Should anesthesiologists be required for medical assistance in dying? We're talking, of course, about well, this is the Clare Health Centre in Nova Scotia, Canada. Digby County, Nova Scotia, Canada is where we are focused here. But it applies to all Canadians, right? Or any other country that has medical assistance in dying. Laws, I don't know if it's a law, but it's more like a decriminalization of this kind of thing here. So the basically is that if you're really really sick, you can go to the medical professionals and they will kill you. Basically, that's exactly what do you agree? Do you not agree? That's not the question of the day, right? Because regardless of where you stand on MAID, medical assistance in dying, pro or against, no one should suffer, right? So I asked the wife of my good friend that had died using this MAID, a great guy, great guy, and so I asked his wife when he was gone. I said, do you believe in MAID? And she said, yeah, no, yeah, I really wish he wouldn't. I wish he wouldn't have died, but he wasn't going to get any better. And then I said, well, let me ask you again. Do you believe in MAID? I don't believe I got a clear answer out of the wife, the widow, but it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Yes or no, I agree. I don't agree. That's not the point here. I don't care if you agree or disagree. The only thing I care about is that no one should suffer. Whether you believe in the right to die or believe in protecting every life until natural death, one thing should be universal. If MAID is happening, it must be done humanely. This isn't a debate about if MAID should exist. This is about how it is carried out. So, pain, suffering, and fear in a patient's final moment should never be acceptable. Everyone deserves dignity at the end, no exceptions. That means proper medical protocols, including anesthesiologists, always. So every case of MAID, every time that MAID has been carried out, there was not an anesthesiologist, the one that are trained to administer the proper medication to ensure that the patient is sedated. If you're not sure what an anesthesiologist does, well, he puts people to sleep correctly, not some. Okay, so the thing is that there's been quite a lot of people that come forth and say, and the medical assistance is extremely painful. The lungs will fill up with the fluid, which is an extremely painful thing. The veins are burning and all this stuff. So the pain is basically likened onto torture, and then you cannot scream or anything because you're paralyzed. But an anesthesiologist really should be present and taking charge of the whole procedure. This argument has merit, which is the point of this video. So thank you very much for clicking onto my video here. We are here talking about it's not about I don't agree with MAID. I don't think everyone has the right to end his own life on her terms, his or her terms, if they believe. Well, whatever. I mean, that's not the question of the day. The question of the day is, should an anesthesiologist be required for medical assistance in dying? And I would put forth that yes, an anesthesiologist should be required, but it costs a lot of money and there's going to be access issues. Oh, really? Well, that's not the question. The question is, should it be? And the answer is yes. Well, okay. Well, the access issues, that's not relevant, right? What about the money? That's not relevant, right? I don't believe in it. That's not relevant. The only relevance, and we got to isolate what the real question is. And that question is, should anesthesiologists be required for MAID? Of course. I mean, this should be basic. I mean, I would suggest that it's extremely irresponsible to not have an anesthesiologist take charge of the sedation or of the patient. I think that's a little bit on the antiquated, barbaric, whatever. But it is happening, right? So that's the thing. Right? The point of that this is happening without anesthesia. All right. So there's no anesthesiologist. There's just sure, trained or whatever, doctor or whatever medical type of doctor that does the actual killing there. But there's no anesthesiologist. Maybe they have a brief seminar on anesthesiology, but is it 100% adequate? Well, that's the question of the day, right? So. Thank you. Thank you for being part in this debate.